Today I'd like to show you Dolphin Pose. There's going to be softer options and a little progression there as well, and I'm going to prep you into it with a few poses. Dolphin is really good for strength in the upper body, so upper arms, upper back, strength in the glutes and the hamstrings. It also requires that kind of length and suppleness in the spine and a little bit of sort of openness in the hips as well, which we're going to try to prep for. So we're going to go ahead and come into a cat or a downward dog. So if you're coming into cat, you want to come into extended cat. So you want to dip the mid to lower back, move the shoulder blades down, breathe in, look up. Breathe out, round the spine, tuck the chin in. And you can repeat that. You can do a few of those. If you're coming into downward dog, it's hands wider than shoulders. So you can stay in your cat if you're happy with that. Downward dog, hands wider than shoulders. Tuck toes, hover knees, send the bottom to the sky, breathing in and out. Push the chest down, lift the bottom. So just steady breathing. From cat or dog, you're going to bring your right foot or knee across and send your left leg into the sky. So it's a three-legged, so that works just as well from cat, just the same. And we're going to try to throw that leg over the washing line. So it's as if you're hanging this leg out to dry. It's a wet, soggy wetsuit, hanging it out to dry. Give the foot a wiggle. Again, it works just the same from cat. If you want to get a little bit more strength there from dog or cat, you can come into the fingertips. With cat, you might actually be able to take an arm away. With downward dog, less possible. And we're going to go ahead and switch sides. So back to your standard downward dog. Or back to your cat. And with cat, you might like to mix it up. You might like to come into some easing forwards, easing back, even maybe coming into a little up dog or a cobra. Okay, and then we're going to bring the left knee or the left foot across, send the right leg into the sky. So it's just a standard three-legged, and then chucking it over the washing line, if that feels possible, and letting that hip open out. So you can come into the fingertips if you want as well, of the corresponding arm. And if you're in cat, you might take that arm away. So prepping everything nicely. And then we're just going to bring it down into a nice devotion pose, big toes together, knees together, all wide, arms extend, and forehead down. You can use a brick or a cushion for your forehead if you want. Ease your palms into the mat. I'm going to move forwards into up dog or cobra, so breathing in. So the first place we get to is up dog. Arms are straight, hips are off the mat, breathing in, breathe out, relax the shoulders. If that is too much, soften the elbows, so we're in a king cobra, we're looking ahead. Or we can come down to a baby cobra, just the chest is lifted, but we've still got that nice little back bend in the upper back. And then coming into forearms, so even if you don't usually do a cobra in your forearms, we're going to do that today because this is prepping as well for dolphin. So breathe in, we've got this kind of extension here. Breathe out, relax the shoulders. You can look ahead, or you can make that your baby cobra as well, looking along the floor, still having a little bit of a back bend. Good stuff. So now we're going to prep a bit more with bow pose. I'm wondering if I should turn on my side to show you that or not. I'm going to turn this way slightly. So bow pose, we're going to bend the knees, bring the heels to the bottom. We can have arms taut. So by taut, I'm really sort of stretching out the fingertips and lift the chest, lift the knees. So that's one way of doing bow pose. You may be able to grab the feet with your hands, lift the knees, lift the chest. Swing it back round. So breathing in. So that is full bow pose there. It might be that you do one side. It might be that to reach back, you can't quite reach back with the other side. So the other side can extend. This is actually called swimmer, and it's very strengthening as well. And then you would switch it. Make sure to breathe because it's quite a powerful movement. So whilst that is in a sense a softer option for bow pose, it's actually no less of a strengthening pose. In fact, it's probably a bit more strengthening. Okay, so that's going to prep us nicely now for dolphin. Coming into your forearms. So we've got the forearms down, we've got the elbows under the shoulders, and we've got the knees under the hips. So I say this to people in class, and what I end up seeing is that. And I'll say, no, take a look, stack your joints, knees under the hips. So we're there. So we're going to start off just easing forwards and back. So we gently feel that very gentle contraction in the biceps. Then, little progression. Tuck toes, hover the knees. You can look to the front of the mat, or you can bring your head down. So this pose is actually puppy dog. And some people opt for puppy dog instead of dolphin. It's strengthening very similar areas. If you want to progress from puppy dog to dolphin, you're going to straighten out your knees and bring your crown of your head down. I'm telling you this now because once I go down, I don't know if you'll be able to hear me. Then I'm going to walk into my tiptoes, get my bottom high like a dolphin's tail and my head low like a dolphin diving down into the water. So here we go. So if you get comfy in dolphin and you want to progress a little bit, you can lift a leg. Let's try and show you that. If you've lifted one leg, obviously go ahead, switch legs. Okay, so I hope you felt that you could manage that all right. We want to stretch that out with a bit of a back bend, so we'll come back into a cobra again, or an up dog. So breathe in, breathe out. So you might take your rising cobra or your baby cobra instead. And bring it down and relax. So you might feel like you want to do some more countering. You might feel like you want to stretch out the hamstrings a little bit after that pose. I'm not going to go into all of that and do a mega long video. I try and keep these nice and short, but a typical way of doing that could be simply, maybe with a belt, you're reclining big toe pose. And you can do it without really holding the foot, but you could have a belt around your foot. Obviously, switch legs, oops. So that could be a really good way of stretching out the backs of the legs after dolphin pose. Well done, hope you're feeling nice and strong and kind of opened out after that. Thanks for joining in. Namaste. Have a lovely day, everyone.